Your bike comes with an IMU, a TFT display, riding modes, connectivity, and yet, it might still fall short compared to a Honda born in 1958. Because the Super Cub didn't conquer the world with flashiness. It did it with a shockingly simple idea. Build a bike anyone can ride. No fear, no fuss, no 100-page manual. Back in 1956, Soichiro Honda and Takeo Fujisawa went to Europe to see what was working. What they saw didn't entirely convince them. Useful scooters, sure, but fragile. Small wheels, troublesome maintenance, too many compromises for rough roads and daily hard use. Then came the mantra, the phrase that sums up the Cub. It should be rideable with one hand, while a soba delivery guy carries trays on his shoulder. And here begins the real magic. Not marketing magic, the magic of practical engineering. A 4-stroke engine. At a time when most of the small market was still 2-stroke. Automatic centrifugal clutch. No clutch lever. You shift with your foot. Your left hand stays free. Low step frame. Large front shield. Protection from mud and grime. And 17-inch wheels. Not for retro style, out of necessity. Because in Japan back then, many roads weren't even paved. So, while today they sell you adventure with 240 kilos, 1,000 engine maps, and a monthly payment that glares at you every month end, the Cub solved the problem earlier. Less weight, less complexity, more real-world use. Of course, it wasn't perfect, and that needs telling. The first units had clutch issues. It didn't start as a miracle, but Honda responded like few brands do when they truly want market dominance, sending salespeople and workers to fix customers' bikes, in person. And it worked. Oh, it worked all right. By 1961, they were selling over 1,000 a month in the US. By 1962, they surpassed 40,000 units. And in 1963, they launched a campaign that changed everything. You meet the nicest people on a Honda. Suddenly, the bike stopped being dangerous. It became a staple. And there lies the Super Cub's elegant sting. It wasn't just a great bike. It was a bike that redefined what a motorcycle meant. Block 2, 11 Labs. Now for the uncomfortable part. Why does this small thing still put half the industry to shame? Because the Super Cub never aimed to impress anyone. It aimed to start every day. And that, interestingly, impresses much more as years go by. The series surpassed 100 million units in 2017, and today, it's over 110 million. We're not talking about a successful bike. We're talking about a format that motorized half the planet. So when someone mocks the Cub for being not much of a bike, they're really admitting they don't grasp the scale of things. The modern Super Cub isn't trying to be a missile. 9.8 horsepower, 10.4 newton meters, 4 gears, centrifugal clutch, 95 kilometers per hour, and ridiculously low consumption. On paper, a 125cc scooter seems more logical, more practical, more automatic. But the Cub is in a different league. Big wheel, simple mechanical gearbox, proven architecture, less appliance, more machine. And here's the gentle slap. The current industry has been selling us complexity as value for years. More sensors, more electronics, more dependence. Meanwhile, the Cub keeps reminding us of something uncomfortable. That true innovation doesn't always add things. Sometimes it takes them away. In fact, there's a detail that changes everything. The Super Cub 50 recently bid farewell in Japan due to emission standards. It still lives on in 125cc, but the original is now history. And that leaves a serious question. Not if the Cub is slow, not if it's expensive for a 125cc. The question is another. Have we really progressed, or just complicated an idea that was solved nearly 70 years ago? My verdict is this. The Honda Super Cub doesn't humiliate a 20,000 euro bike in power. It humiliates it in honesty. Because one promises freedom with an entire catalog behind it. The other gives it to you with a single cylinder and a will to work. Now it's your turn. Do you prefer an increasingly sophisticated bike, or a simple machine that still makes sense decades later? Let me know in the comments. This is Countersteer Theory, Throttle, and Judgment.